What we see in here is the creative solution to the common problem that we all have, that our plants dry out when we don't water them enough. The solution for this is a creative plant pot that will keep some water at the bottom of the container. As you can see, this layer has stones and gravel, pebbles. This layer has soil, organic soil, and on top we have tree bark and organic pine tree needles, which will prevent excess evaporation. Some evaporation will happen, the rest will not. It also allows the bugs and positive insects to live inside of the bark. Not sure about the negative ones, if they like it. The positive one, the beneficial one, that form a symbiosis with the plant, will live inside and create some extra biodiversity for the plant. This is gonna be the balcony plant. It's gonna survive all weather conditions. The specialty of this pot that the lower level has water, permanent water, just like the groundwater, and a layer of gravel stones which will separate the roots from the water, so the roots will have to grow through the stones to reach the water. And when the water evaporates, then it's gonna filter out through the organic soil and to the top if it wants to evaporate. There are small holes in this section. Let's see, if I tilt the container, the water will start to flow out. Yes, there is some water. And the small holes which I did punch with the help of the screwdriver over there, separated by 3 centimeters of distance, small holes which allow the water to filter through and exit the container. Excess water can damage the roots because they start to rot. That's why the roots are in the organic soil layer of the container, and at the bottom there are stones, so that the roots can never reach, or there would be no roots. The majority of the roots is going to be in the organic material, and some roots or some parts of the roots are gonna be in the gravel, and the water is just gonna exit at this edge, and this edge is a buffer between the roots and the water, so that the roots are not going to be excessively wet and excessively damaged by too much water. In a sense, it's a hydroponic setup without circulating water. The plant has constant water in the container, but it's not circulating. If you want to see how it was built, I think you get the idea, but if you want to see the process, keep watching, have fun, make your own hydroponic or like hydroponic container for the plant. Make your own version of this. Share in the comments what you learned, and let's see what happens, how it was constructed. Let's do something fun. Let's recreate the forest, the soil of the forest, in the plastic container. Over there we see the plant, the wonderful lila. It's the lavender, the aromatic type of lavender. It has outgrown its container. Let's recreate the forest ground and the forest soil in the plastic bottle. It used to be a plastic bottle, I cut the top off. Now it's just a plastic container. The lower part is gonna be water, the groundwater, some gravel stones for the minerals, organic soil, organic material, and tree bark for the protection against drying out. Those are the materials. In the back we have substrate, which is just dirt, organic soil, the plant, larger gravel, small gravel, stones, pine needles, pine tree bark, which is sustainably harvested pine tree bark, which is just the upper layer of the bark, which falls naturally to the ground. Let's start with the larger stones, which will build the layer where the groundwater, just like in the forest, this is gonna be like the groundwater. There's some larger stones that cover the surface and which allow the bacteria to extract some minerals from the stones, and it's gonna be filled out with water. The water is going to be at the bottom. And we have some small holes which are punched with a screwdriver all around. So it's going to be a thin layer or moderately thin layer of water at the bottom. And the majority of the volume is going to be filled out with the stones. Let's put them all into the bucket. Just like that. Good enough, good enough. To avoid that the roots and the water and the soil will leak from the holes, I'll add some smaller gravel which will block and fill out the spaces, and it will block the sand and the soil from filtering through the rock and flowing out of the holes. So this is like the natural filter. The smaller gravel is going to have the function of the filter, which is going to filter the water and only allow the water to exit, but the soil is gonna remain in the bucket. Okay, let's sort them out a little bit. Larger stones can go into that. For the people in the developed world, it's interesting because we buy the soil in the supermarkets, in the shops. It's just dirt. Black organic dirt. We buy that soil for 20 liters, it's just one euro or less if you can find. And in the developed world it's a joke. Dirt is everywhere around. So they can joke that the people in the developed world, they buy dirt 20 liters for a euro or US dollar. Okay, let's finish the filter layer. The stones, they allow the bacteria to grow and to extract the minerals from the stones. The type of bacteria that can do that. Good enough, good enough. Maybe slightly too much. Okay. Next step is going to be to shift the plant into the new container and fill the gaps with the organic soil. Let's do that. The plant is in the bottle, the plant is in the pot. The earth, the soil did set in after watering. It's set in. Now I can put the needles all around the plant and recreate this forest environment where the plants have organic material on top of the soil. some needles, which will also allow the roots of the plant to breathe, and it also will allow the fungi to live in the organic material and to build a relationship with the plant. And as a more interesting factor for the people who grow the plants at home, it will allow the soil to be more wet, so you don't have to water the plant that much, or you don't have to worry that it will dry out, which is an issue for the people who grow plants and don't have enough time to water them, or maybe don't want to water them that frequently. Just like that, some needles, and over there I see some bark. Let's do the bark. Tree bark on the top to protect the plant from drying out. Let's finish all of that and see how the result will turn out. This is the final result. Wonderful green color. Transparent container which will have water at the bottom, minerals in the stones, organic material for the roots, tree bark and pine tree needles as an organic material on top that will prevent excess evaporation and will permit some insect to live inside of the organic material. Let's see if this plant likes this setup. What will happen with the growth? Will it grow well or not? I did many plants like this throughout. The problems that can arise is that there is too much excess water that can damage the roots. To prevent this, put a little bit of more stones or something more that will block the roots from direct access to the water so that they cannot be damaged. Otherwise, it's a perfect setup which will allow the plant to have always water when it needs water. I hope you like it. Build your own, have fun gardening, planting and growing. You think you're strong and powerful. Great, muscular. How about breaking concrete? Now look at that, how powerful nature is. There is a little hole in the wall. Over there, little hole in the wall. Seed got inside and now there is a plant. That's a strong. Just from that little hole, from a small seed, a plant like that did grow out. Fascinating. Nature is powerful, so we must be humble about our own strengths. If a plant like that can do it, imagine what other fungi and plants can do. Night and day, the brave cleaning ladies and gentlemen clean the waste disposal containers. Even on the days of the festivals and the celebration, public holidays, bearded men and bearded women clean the city, so it's beautiful. Now let's see how the waste disposal container is handled by the machine. The person inside just moves the car into the position and presses the button. Everything else is done automatically, just like that. Move the car. And the rest is done by the robot. Yes, we got lift off into the space. You go to the moon, to the moon. fly high. Now the trash into the different dimension. The trash did land into the different dimension. Now it's compressed into the black hole of the waste disposal. Thank you, dear truck driver. Bye bye.